Welcome back to the channel. Today we're covering one of the most dramatic international developments of early 2026, the capture of Venezuela's President Nicolás Maduro by U.S. forces and what this means for relations between the United States and Venezuela moving forward. In a highly unusual military operation, Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and his wife were seized by U.S. forces in Caracas and transported to the United States to face federal charges, a move that has triggered global debate and raised serious questions about international law, regional stability, and U.S. Latin America relations. In the early hours of January 3, 2026, the United States conducted a large-scale military operation in Venezuela's capital city of Caracas. Armed U.S. forces captured President Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Cilia Flores, and flew them to New York to appear in federal court on drug trafficking and related narcotics charges. Maduro has pleaded not guilty and insists he remains Venezuela's legitimate president. AP News +1. U.S. President Donald Trump stated that the operation was successful and signaled that the United States would oversee Venezuela's transition and stabilize key sectors such as oil production during the interim period. This action represents a complete rupture from decades of diplomatic efforts and sanctions aimed at influencing change in Caracas through primarily economic and political pressure. Instead, it marks a direct military intervention by the U.S., a choice that has serious implications. Shift to hard power strategy. The United States has moved from sanctions and diplomatic isolation to military force and direct involvement in regime change. This sets a new precedent in how Washington approaches hostile or anti-U.S. governments in the Western Hemisphere. Voila! Regional and international backlash. Leaders across Latin America, as well as nations like China and Russia, have condemned the operation as a violation of sovereignty and international law. Critics argue that this action undermines core principles of the United Nations Charter, which prohibits forceful removal of sovereign leaders without clear legal justification. Chatham House +1. Humanitarian and security risks. Venezuelan officials have declared national mourning for those who died during the operation, and tensions remain high domestically in Venezuela. Experts warn the country could become more volatile as armed groups and militias react to U.S. intervention. So what's next? Diplomacy versus confrontation. The U.S. now controls Maduro's legal fate and, for now, influences Venezuela's political transition. But many nations and international organizations are calling for negotiation and respect for sovereignty rather than military dominance. Forbes. U.S. Venezuela relations. Official diplomatic relations are effectively frozen. Venezuela's interim leadership demands Maduro's return, and his supporters view the operation as unlawful. These contrasting positions make normalization difficult in the near term. Euronews. Regional stability. Latin American governments are watching closely. Some welcome the end of Maduro's regime, while others warn that the region could face increased instability or further interventionist actions. The capture of Nicolás Maduro is more than a headline. It is a turning point with deep implications for U.S. foreign policy, international law, and the future of Venezuela. Whether this action leads to stability or further conflict remains to be seen, but it unquestionably reshapes U.S. Venezuela relations for years to come. Call to action. What do you think this means for the future of U.S. policy in Latin America? Comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for regular updates on breaking international news.